Well, hello YouTube. Well, today I'm rolling the sides on these guys, and I'll show you how I do that, because these are going to be flat-sided cranks. I've already done several of them, but I do it the old school way. I just sand on these guys until I get what I want. And for one, because when I try to carve on them, I always take too much off. I never know when to stop carving on them, so I don't even do that. I just sand them until I get them where I want them. And I just use a sanding block. One side's coarse, the other side's fine, but I use the coarse side for this part of it to get those sides rolled. So I just hold it at an angle. But I just thought I'd show you on one of these how I do this. Yeah, and it's a lot of work, a lot of sanding. But see how that side's rolled? This side's, you can still tell that it's sharp. And it kind of helps me to keep them uniform to where they stay squared up. Easier to even them back out. But I just thought I'd show you this is how I do this. I mean, I have a belt sander and stuff. Don't really use it very much because I'll take too much off with it too. I don't know. My first crankbaits were balsa crankbaits, and the ones, I have several of them that swim really good, and I think out of probably 10 that I built, only one wouldn't swim. And I did them all just like this. I just sanded them until I got the shape that I wanted, with no carving or anything. So I use pretty much all hand tools except for when I drill the belly weights and the hook hangers. I'll use a drill for that. But I pretty much do these by hand. And I like cutting them out with just a hand saw. Because I try it with the what saw is that? I have a hang on. I can't even think. I have a Black and Decker, just regular jigsaw. There it is. Jigsaw. But sometimes when you got these drawn close together, that thing wants to take too much. So I just cut them out with the coping saw, or I cut them out with this saw. And I got all that and the coping saw. I got it Harbor Freight. So bought the belt sander from Harbor Freight. But anyway, but this is my new channel, so how I build wooden baits. And then I'm going to buy a little cheap 10-foot $29 swim pool at Walmart so I can swim test these when I get them put together. But we're going to sand on these for probably a couple of days. And then we'll start doing the hardware on them. Because these are going to be coffin bill. And I'll show y'all. There'll be these coffin bills. I bought these from Barlow's. That's where I get all my bills. I try to cut them out, and I suck at cutting bills out. Not very good at it. I need to get me a scroll saw, and that way make things a little easier. But just don't have the cash flow for that. But anyway, I'll buy these weights and I'll just put one of these weights in there, and that should be enough for this because it's pretty light wood. But yeah, I'll just buy weights and my bills from Barlow's. Yeah, the guy that ordered these, he wants the circuit board coffin bills in them. So to about 8 foot, 5 to 8 foot. So I got the smaller bill of them, so it'll go about with the angle in your line. If you use the right line, should get 5 to 8 foot out of them. So, but anyway, but this is what we do. We just sand on them, sand on them, sand on them, hours and hours and hours, and then we'll get them. And then what I'll do is I'll use this coarse to get them shaped. And then we'll go to this 220, and I'll sand them with 220. And then we'll go to 400, and then I have some 600 grit. Now this 400 grit, we'll do that, and then the final sanding, I have it somewhere, I just don't see it. Our final sanding will be the 600 grit, and that'll be before we paint these. I'll sand them all with that 600 grit and get them as smooth as I can. And then I always dip them in, I don't know where it's at, I have it somewhere. I'll dip them in that urethane. I don't even know where the stupid can's at. Oh, there it is. I dumped half of this out trying to put the lid in, so I don't have very much. I'll have to get me another deal. But I dip them in this polyurethane, and it's warm satin. I'll dip them in that and let them dry. I'll probably have to paint it on these because there's not very much in there to dip. But I'll dip them in that, and then let them dry, and then I'll give them a sanding on the 600 grit, because that's what'll seal these. That'll get them sealed. And then I'll sand them with the 600 grit until they get smooth, and then we'll paint them. But I'll probably put the bills in there and all the hardware on them before I paint them. I mean, I can get that stuff cleaned off pretty good. So, and the bills I can tape off. So, and I'm used to it because I paint custom plastic. I paint swim baits and crankbaits and all that all the time. I've painted baits for 7 years. This is only maybe my second year to build wooden lures. I just built a bunch for me. Like I showed y'all, I built the rat bait, top waters, and I built the crappie glide, and I built that first glide of mine that swims really good. So, you know, those are kind of what I built, and I built a few crankbaits. I'll have to show y'all my crankbaits I built one of these days. And the ones that I have swim. I sold one of them that swam really good, that run about 2 to 4 foot. And I made him a square bill, and he swam really good, and a guy bought him from me. So that's about the only wooden bait I've sold. These will be the other ones that I sell. But all 15 of the 16 of these are sold already. They're in order. So, and they know it takes me forever, so that they don't worry about it. So they just let me build them. So, but usually they'll swim. But yeah, and then when we get them put together and I get that pool, and I'll show the swim test on these, and hopefully they'll all swim. I'm hoping. But anyway, that's all I got for y'all today. So please remember, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, because it'll help the channel to grow. And I appreciate everyone. If y'all watch this video, I appreciate every one of y'all, and we'll see you on the next one.